Hello everyone, welcome back to the POPSICLE KNIGHT channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Please don't forget to hit that like button if you like this video, hit the thumbs down if you don't, and please consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't already. So for today, we'll be taking a look at Sawsbuck from the Chilling Reign set. Wait, Sawsbuck? Yeah, Sawsbuck. And we'll take along Ledian, also from Chilling Reign. These guys are pretty unpopular. While Walrein was frowned upon, these guys are outright ignored. But I'm here to change your mind. These guys are actually pretty awesome with the right strategy, as you will soon find out. First, let's take a look at Sawsbuck. Sawsbuck is a stage 1 grass type Pokemon with 110 HP. It has 1 retreat cost and it has weakness to fire. It has 2 attacks. The first attack is Tackle. For 1 colorless energy, it will deal 30 damage. The second attack is Winter Horn. For 1 grass and 2 colorless energy, it will deal 80 plus damage. But if you have a stadium in play, this attack will do 160 damage instead, which is pretty decent. And I also added 1 Vitality Band tool card in this build so that we can increase Sawsbuck's attack up to 170 damage. It's important to note though that you are the one who has to have a stadium in play for the extra damage to take effect. Naturally then, we'll have to play stadiums to increase Sawsbuck's attack. So for stadiums, we'll be using 2 copies of Radiant Forest Stadium, which will help us get more energy. And I also have 2 copies of Chaotic Swell Stadium. This will disrupt your opponent from playing their own stadium, and most likely it will remain in play most of the time. But just in case your opponent also has a Chaotic Swell Stadium, I have a copy of Flannery so that we can easily discard our opponent's stadium. And it doubles its effect by discarding a special energy attached to one of your opponent's Pokemon. But there's a special secret to Sawsbuck. Because it has the attack Tackle, we can actually utilize the Normalium Z Tackle tool card. This allows a Pokemon with the Tackle attack to have an extra move, Barreling Blitz GX. But the downside is you can only use 1 GX attack per game, so you have to use it wisely. For 4 colorless energy, it will deal 200 plus damage. Then you can flip a coin until you get tails, and this attack will do 40 more damage for each heads. So depending on how good your coin flips are, you can potentially one-hit KO any Pokemon in the game with this move. So this may just help us get an advantage over our opponent in many situations. Our secondary attacker is Ledian. Ledian is a stage 1 grass type Pokemon with 90 HP. While the HP is a bit underwhelming, it makes it possible to search it out with the help of Level Ball. It has 1 retreat cost and is weak to fire. It has 2 attacks. The first attack is Rapid Draw. For 1 colorless energy, it will deal 20 damage and then you draw 2 cards. The second attack is Air Slash. For 3 colorless energy, it will deal 100 damage. And then you have to discard 1 energy from this Pokemon. The damage output is terrible, but just like Sawsbuck, Ledian also has a special secret to it. Because it has the Air Slash attack, we can utilize the Flyinium Z Air Slash tool card. This allows a Pokemon with the Air Slash attack to have an extra move, Speeding Sky Strike GX. This is also a GX attack, which means you can only use it once per game. So between this one and Normalium Z, you have to really use it wisely. For 4 colorless energy, it will deal 180 damage, and then any effect of attack, including damage done to Ledian, will be prevented on your opponent's next turn. Between this GX attack, which deals 180 damage, and in your next turn, combo the attack with Sawsbuck's 160 damage output, you can deal a total of 340 damage in 2 turns, which can knock out any VMAX in the game right now. Moving on now to our support Pokemon, the first one will be Cherrim. It has the Spring Bloom ability. This allows you to attach as many basic grass energy from your hand to any of your Pokemon who does not have a rule box on it. This will be our main energy accelerator for this build, so it is essential for you to set this up as soon as possible. And I've included 12 copies of grass energy in this build, along with 4 copies of twin energy, which will really help out to energize our Pokemon as well as the GX attacks. Our consistency Pokemon will be Snorlax with the Gourmandize ability. While it ends your turn, you can draw cards until you have 7 in your hand, and you can also use its Body Slam attack in clutch moments. For 4 colorless energy, it will deal 100 damage. Then you flip a coin. If heads, your opponent becomes paralyzed. This is great for stalling and dealing chip damage to bulkier opponents. Next, I have one copy of Dedenne GX with the Dedenne Change ability. If you play this from your hand to the bench, you may discard your entire hand and draw 6 cards. This is great for finding your energies late game. And finally, I have one copy of Mew with the Bench Barrier ability. With most of our Pokemon having so little HP, it's important that we protect our bench from damage as much as possible. As for item cards, I have 2 copies of Energy Retrieval, which allows you to get 2 basic energy cards from the discard pile back to your hand. Then you can use Cherrim to quickly energize Sawsbuck or Ledian. I also have one copy of Evolution Incense, 2 Level Ball, 1 Ordinary Rod, 2 Pokemon Communication, 2 Quick Ball, which we would also need. This way we can also search out our Snorlax or Dedenne GX when we need it. Next, we have 2 Switch and also 1 Air Balloon, mostly for Cherrim, so we can easily retreat with it, especially it has 2 retreat cost, and we can use it as a pivot Pokemon whenever our active gets knocked out. As for supporter cards, I have 1 copy of Boss's Orders for Gusting, 2 copies of Marnie, and finally 2 Professor's Research. This build definitely is a meme deck, but you'll see just how awesome this build is at taking down some tier 1 deck builds too. You'll see what I mean in the following gameplays. And that's pretty much it. My deck list will be in the description below, but enough talk, let's see how this build works. Alright, so we are going to lose the coin flip and we are going to go second. So I've been trying out this deck for a few games now, and Sawsbuck definitely has potential. It can hit for 160 damage, which can pretty much to hit KO a lot of Pokemon VMAX in the game. A lot of them, majority of them, that has 320 HP. So for the meantime, here in this matchup, we are going to start off with Gormandized Snorlax, which is great. I always like starting with Snorlax. And I'm going to go ahead and use Quick Ball, get rid of Air Balloon, and I'm going to start setting up my Cherrim. And I'm going to put Twin Energy on Snorlax just in case. I'm going to Gormandize. And then, of course, we're going to play the Chaotic Swell, which could disrupt this Rapid Strike. I mean, they're using Grass types. I'm not sure exactly what build it is, but they are using Sobble right now, so we can expect Shadow Dealings, Inteleon, Drizzile, and probably the Quick Shooting Inteleon too. So I am a little bit worried because Cherrim has really low HP, and then they could just Quick Shooting a lot of the damage counters on Cherrim, and we're gonna lose our Energizer. So they're gonna go ahead and evolve into Shady Dealings Drizzile, and let's see what item cards they're gonna get. For the meantime, we have another Snorlax. I'm not sure if we would need to set that up. I would like to leave some space on my bench, but we'll see what our opponent does here first. I'm probably gonna empty out my hand as much as possible so I can Gormandize. But they're gonna get a Marnie. If they get us a Marnie, it would actually... Alright, I am actually okay with that, because I mean, we could set up our Ledian, but for right now, what we need to set up is some other basic Pokemon, especially the Sawsbuck line. So they have a Rowlet here, so this seems to be a Decidueye Inteleon deck build. So that explains the grass energy. And this one, I think we should have a fairly easy win against this Decidueye Inteleon, hopefully. So I'm gonna go ahead and get Deerling with this level ball. Mew is definitely gonna help out in this matchup, so they won't be able to hit our bench. Use Pokemon Communication to evolve our Cherrim, and we're just gonna Gormandize here, which will get us 6 cards to draw into. So now we have a Sawsbuck to evolve into. We have a Stadium in play, so we should be hitting for 160 damage, and all of their Pokemon, Inteleon is 160 damage. The Quick Shooting Inteleon has 150 damage or 50 HP. So this Inteleon has 160 HP. The quick shooting should have, I think, 150 HP, and Decidueye only has 140 HP. So hopefully this should make this matchup a little bit easier. Probably just gonna use Sawsbuck for most of our attacks, but it would help if we can use the Flyinium Z, which we could prevent some damage or effective damage or effective attacks, which can buy us an extra turn to knock out another Pokemon on our opponent's side. So dealing with one prizers, okay, they're gonna Marnie us again, unfortunately, but hopefully we draw into more energies. That's what I'm counting on. So we get a twin energy, which is good. We can probably energize Snorlax and start knocking out some Pokemon here. First, I'm gonna use Cherrim to energize Deerling for 1 energy. I'm gonna start setting up my Lediba for my Ledian, and I'm gonna go ahead and put the twin energy on Deerling for now, so we can start attacking with Sawsbuck. We get more energy. I'm probably just gonna use Spring Bloom and energize my Snorlax, and let's see, I can energize Lediba here, and I'm gonna Body Slam to chip damage away at this Inteleon. If they have water energy, they can knock out my Snorlax, but yes, we get a paralysis off of that one, which is great. Snorlax, man, still ruling this matchup. But yeah, Cherrim with Snorlax and Grass Energy just pairs so well. They're gonna Boss's Order our Cherrim, but can they switch out of this Inteleon to knock it out? We have a twin energy. We're probably just gonna have to use that to retreat, and probably back to Snorlax. Can either use Gormandize, and there's the quick shooting, man. For 3 more turns, our Cherrim will get knocked out. So let's go ahead and retreat. Gonna go ahead and Boss's Order, and I'm gonna Body Slam this quick shooting because it is annoying. Unfortunately, we don't paralyze it, but 1 more hit, we should be able to knock it out, and we don't have to worry about that quick shooting ability. But there's another Marnie. They have so many Marnies. But yeah, we're just trying to avoid this quick shooting. Dealing with one prizer matchup, it's basically a race to the prize exchange, because they're giving up 1 prize, we're giving up 1 prize. So now they're ahead in prizes. If we knock out their Inteleon, we can go ahead and promote our Deerling, and you know that Marnie from their last turn got us a Sawsbuck, which is great. Gonna go ahead and use Sonia to get a Snorlax and another Deerling, and then I'm gonna put Snorlax and Deerling in the bench. Meanwhile, we're gonna continue to energize our Lediba and our Deerling. Put Air Balloon on Cherrim, knock this guy out with Sawsbuck, dealing 160 damage. And we get 1 prize for it. We get an Evolution Incense. So if they, for some reason, they shouldn't be able to knock out our Sawsbuck, because Decidueye is only hitting for 90 damage. So again, with the prize exchange, we're kind of even right now. But with their damage output, I don't think their Decidueye is getting ahead anytime soon against our Sawsbuck. So they can hit for 90, but then again, we can knock out the Decidueye with 1 hit. We still have a stadium in play. The Calyrex will stay there unless they knock it out with another stadium they have. So let's see what our opponent does. Again, Sawsbuck really relies on you having your own stadium in play. So if your opponent has their stadium, Sawsbuck will only hit for 80 damage. They're gonna scoop up. Why did they scoop up their Decidueye in the active? Maybe they don't have any other way to switch out. and they really want to attack with the Decidueye with 1 energy on it already. So let's see what they got. They got 3 Marnies, 3 rare candies, so they can evolve only 1 more. So that's one thing you gotta watch out for too, with the stage 2 Pokemon. When you're up against stage 2s, is looking out for their rare candies. They do play stage 1s to evolve into their stage 2, but it will take them a lot longer to do it, and that will just give you a bigger advantage. They're gonna switch us out into Deerling. That will give them an easy prize, but the problem is with their setup right now is they don't have a secondary attacker. None of their other Pokemon is energized, so we're just gonna promote our Sawsbuck to knock out this Decidueye, and we're gonna go and get our Ledian evolution. And let's just take our prize here, Winter Horn for 160 damage, 1 hit KOing this Decidueye, getting us another prize, and we get a Vitality Band. So if they manage to knock out our Sawsbuck, we can just switch into Snorlax and then Gormandize to draw into more cards, and we have more attacker. We can attack with Snorlax, we can attack with Ledian in our next turn. So we are in good. Alright, they're gonna Fion. I think I'm gonna switch into Cherum. They can't attack anyways, so we can just retreat back. And that's what I mean with the air. Oh, they're using a Tool Jammer, so now we cannot retreat with Cherum, so that's gonna be a problem. And they're gonna keep quick shooting our Sawsbuck. Okay. This is gonna be a real problem. Unless we draw into like a switch or more energy, we can't retreat our Cherum. And well, you know what? We have Boss's Order. That's Boss's Order, this guy, and now we can retreat because that Tool Jammer effect is no longer affecting Cherum. And we're just gonna switch into Sawsbuck to keep knocking out their Pokemon. So I think we got this match in the bag. There's really not much they can do here. We got a Cricketune, so we can draw in 2 more cards in our next turn. It just really depends on how fast they can set up their Decidueye or Inteleon, but other than that, there's really not much they can do. They're gonna Fion us again, but if we switch into Cherum, we're gonna get stuck. So Ledian, I think, is the best option. We can retreat with 1 energy, and they're gonna keep hitting our Sawsbuck, which really doesn't do anything, and they still can't attack. And we get a switch, so let's just put Cricketune in play, switch, which will preserve also the energy on Ledian, and then we get a Marnie off of the Cricketune. Let's use that, and we get into more basic and Sawsbuck. So you know what, we got this. Winter Horn knocking out this Inteleon. We got 1 more to go, and they scoop. All right, good game. All right, so we win the coin flip, and we are gonna go first. So dealing with stage 1 or multiple stages, I like going first because once you set up your basic, you have a chance to evolve your Pokemon in your following few turns, and you can even attack. And we start off with a Snorlax and a Deerling, and we are up against a Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX deck. For the meantime, let's go get our level ball, and Cherum line is definitely the way to go. I'm gonna go ahead and put this Normalium Z on Deerling, which will reduce cards on our hand. Hopefully we get another Lediba or Ledian. Okay, we do have it, so we can set that up now. Put the Twin Energy on Deerling, put the Air Balloon on the Cherum line, Cherubi, and then I'm gonna Gormandize for a full 7 cards. Whether or not our opponent can see what we have on our hand, we get the Flyinium Z actually, which is good. It's I think after playing a few games or a lot of games with this Sawsbuck build, I think it's very important that you are very aggressive and start attacking as soon as possible. Don't wait for your opponent to set up at all, because 160 damage isn't really much, especially when you're up against a VMAX decks or Tag Team GX decks, which has a lot of HP. They can tank a lot of your attacks. So I found it to be very useful to just continue to be very aggressive and keep attacking as much as possible whenever you can. They have a Professor's Research. They have 2 Calyrex V already, and also they have Alchemy V on their bench, and they have Marshadow, which can remove our Stadium. So one of the things that I worry with this is that now they can use the Horror House GX from this Mimikyu Gengar GX tag team. So now we can't do anything. We can't even Gormandize because we have a lot of cards on our hand and we can't really attack. So we have 4 trainer cards, so Gengar will be able to knock out our Snorlax if it does attack. That's the thing. And they have a Chaotic Swell. We will need Flannery here. Poltergeist, yeah, there goes our Snorlax. I don't know how we're gonna fare in this game. This Calyrex V with the Gengar is pretty aggressive too, and that's what I mean with the GX tag teams and a lot of VMAX that requires few energies that can attack for a lot. You know, it's almost unfair against our deck build. You know, we're using stage 1 that nobody will ever probably play except for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and bump out this Chaotic Swell. There's really nothing we could do. We don't have a Flannery. Meanwhile, I'm gonna get my Cherum, evolve that. We have Air Balloon so we can retreat, and I think I'm just gonna Spring Bloom into Sawsbuck here. Let's retreat on it first. Spring Bloom 1 energy on Sawsbuck so we can attack, and then energize Sawsbuck. Now we can actually use the GX attack. Unfortunately, our coin flips, the first one was stale, so we don't get any additional damage. If we had heads, we could have 1-hit KO this Gengar Mimikyu GX, which would have been insane. But at least we are ahead in terms of damage here. But now, you know, 200 damage is not bad. Let's go play our Chaotic Swell so we can hit 460 damage. Let's just go ahead and knock out this Marshadow, because it's gonna disrupt our Stadium card. So it's necessary we discard that. So they're gonna go through that process. Ooh, unfortunately, you're only gonna hit for 50 Gengar Mimikyu. Let's go. So I'm gonna keep building up our Ledian here. Maybe I can use Marnie. Get us more cards. Maybe disrupt their hand. And then we can knock out this Gengar Mimikyu with Sawsbuck. Let's go ahead and put Snorlax in the bench. The downside though with Shadow Rider Calyrex V is the setup process. And we get 3 prizes from our Sawsbuck, which is insane. 3 prizes, guys. Not bad. You know, the downside to Calyrex VMAX, the Shadow Rider, is that you have to build up a lot of energy to make a big difference, really. You can use its ability, but you can attach 2 energies in the bench. I mean, you know what? In one turn, they can put 3 energies on their Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX and start attacking with it. So they could do that. which they can still dominate actually this game. But the thing is, Shadow Rider also doesn't have a lot of HP. What I mean by that is that if we can just keep setting up Sawsbuck and keep attacking their Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, we can actually 2-hit KO their Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX with 2 hits from 2 Sawsbuck. As long as we keep that keep a stadium in play, our stadium in play, we should be fine. And we only actually need 2 more prizes. If we had a Vitality Band, set up another Sawsbuck, we can actually knock out this Alchemy V and get our last 2 prizes. And we will actually have won against Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. But they're going to evolve into Alchemy VMAX, which could be good, because if they don't have a switch, Alchemy VMAX has 3 retreat costs and it only has 310 HP, which is actually, you know, it's good math for us. We can actually 2-hit KO this Alchemy VMAX if they don't switch it out. But with their Dedenne GX, they get more cards. I'm pretty sure they probably have... Oh, dude, did we just win against the Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX? Against Sawsbuck. Alright, we win the coin flip, and we are going to go first. I do like going first with this build for sure. And we get to start off with a Snorlax again. And we have Cherubi and Deerling all set and ready to go. And we can probably use Level Ball to get our Ledian, or what was that, Lediba? Let's see, make sure we got 11. We got all of the Z cards. We only have 1 Marnie. Let's see, we have 2 Chaotic Swell. Okay, yeah, I'm trying to get into the habit of checking what's in my my deck before doing anything else, because it really does help to know what's prized and what's not. I would like to keep my hand for now, so I'm gonna go ahead and just Gormandize for 3 cards. And it looks like we are up against Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. So I'm probably gonna feature the Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX gameplay. That was epic, dude. I can't believe the Sawsbuck actually dominated in that one. Especially we got an easy prize off of 3 prizes off of the Gengar Mimikyu GX tag team. So let's evolve into Sawsbuck. Get our Cherum, because I think that's the most important right now. Yeah, we could get Ledian, but I think Cherum is the most important, so we can start energizing. I don't know if Mew is important here, so let's go ahead and bump out their stadium with ours, Viridian Force, which can get us more energy cards. We don't need Mew, and it's actually just going to be a liability, because if they use quick shooting, they can easily knock out Mew for a prize for 3 turns. So let's just energize Sawsbuck as much as we can, prepare Ledian, and then we're gonna Marnie. And in case they bump out our Viridian, we have Chaotic Swell to replace theirs. So we're just gonna go with that. And I'm just gonna Spring Bloom our Lediba here, which would be able, we could prepare that in case we need to use the GX attack for 180 and invulnerability. So I attached an energy on Snorlax because we can definitely use its body slam attack, which we probably will need to chip damage at this Calyrex VMAX. And we can even knock out this Drizzile, because if they evolve into like Inteleon, which can get them 2 trainer cards, or even the quick shooting Inteleon, it could make a big difference. So knocking out this Drizzile could make a big difference to our strategy. So again, being aggressive with this build, I think, is also really necessary. We only need to set up 1 Ledian, so I'm just gonna get an extra energy. We can energize Snorlax, put a Twin Energy, and just knock out this Drizzile for our first prize, which will help us actually to take the lead in prize exchange. So I could try setting up another Sawsbuck line, but I don't know if I can discard anything here. Let me just discard Sawsbuck. We have one more anyways in our deck, because I really want to set up another Sawsbuck, and I'm gonna go ahead and attach the Flying Z on Lediba here. I'm gonna go and put Chaotic Swell, which will prevent them from using any of their stadium. We get a Ledian evolution, which is great. Put the air balloon on Cherum. Let's see. We don't need to use the Ordinary Rod right now. We can spare Cherum, I think, and get another Deerling. Actually, I can use the Ordinary Rod to just get Sawsbuck. You know, I'll just set up another Sawsbuck line here. And then I can use Ordinary Rod to just get Sawsbuck back into the deck. Because I think we will need to... we will really need to use multiple Sawsbuck in this matchup. I'm just gonna Gormandize for now, I think. You know, even though it's very tempting to knock out this Drizzile, which could make a big difference, I really do need to set up my secondary attacker, because once I knock out Drizzile, they'll just knock out Snorlax, and they have a lot of means to energize their Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX, and they can just keep knocking out our Pokemon, and we won't be able to knock out their Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX because it is a bulky Pokemon. But you know what? I have Boss's Order. Might as well do some chip damage with Snorlax. I'm gonna Spring Bloom this Sawsbuck, Ordinary Rod, the other Sawsbuck. I think that's all we need anyways. I don't want to fill my deck with too much stuff. Mew could come in handy though for, you know, maybe fix up the math if we need it. And I'm just gonna Body Slam. Come on, give me heads! Give me heads! Yes! Snorlax, let's go! So with Ledian all set to go, we can actually hit this. You know, we can even keep hitting with Snorlax until we can lower its HP. Maybe finish it off with Sawsbuck, and then we can use Ledian, its GX attack, making it invulnerable to attacks, and then we can change it into Sawsbuck, which can get our second knockout to the other Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX that they're setting up. Dude, that's insane. If everything goes according to plan, we could just win this game, which would be insane. You know, we won against that Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX deck against that Gengar Mimikyu. And I'm just gonna continue to Body Slam this guy. Let's go! Let's go! Oh my gosh. Snorlax, still the best Pokemon ever designed. So now if they can't get this Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX out of the active, we can just use Sawsbuck. We have a stadium in play. We can hit 460, and that's more than enough to knock out this Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX for 3 prizes, which would give us more options to work with depending on what we pull from our prize. Dude, they couldn't escape. Let's go. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch out into Sawsbuck, and I'm gonna just Winter Horn, knock out this guy for 3 prizes. Guys, Sawsbuck is dominating. Dominating this Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX deck. There's the Flannery. So anyways, they can't replace our Chaotic Swell. So, and they don't use any special energy, so I'm not gonna be able to use Flannery here. so I don't have to worry about that. We have Professor's Research, and there's the Shadow Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX. Dude, if I win this match, I would have just beaten two of the best VMAXes in the Chilling Reign set. Well, if I beat both of them, I don't know. It stands to question whether or not they really are great, right? So let's go ahead and use the GX attack, 180 damage. Now our Ledian is invulnerable. They cannot knock out our Ledian, dude. This is epic. If all we have to do is switch into Sawsbuck, we can knock out this Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX and we win the game. The only downside is I only play one boss's order though, so that's gonna be a little bit tough for us to get this Ice Rider. If they retreat and then are they gonna reset stamp us into 3? Okay, we don't need that Normalium Z because we already used up the Flainium GX attack. So most likely we'll just have to use, oh okay, they're gonna escape rope. I think I'm just gonna switch into Cherum. I do need that Deerling to stay alive. Cherum has already done its job. They can't attack anyways, because if they attack with that Ice Rider, we can just knock it out with our Sawsbuck. So they're not gonna attempt to put that in the active anytime soon. Yeah, so I think my Charm is safe. It's safe right now. They're afraid. We have struck fear in our opponents. Struck fear because of Ledian and Sawsbuck. The Pokemon that nobody cares about in this Chilling Reign set. Dude, this is so awesome. I can't believe I'm winning. Dude, definitely gonna post that Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. You know, they're using some epic cards there, some expensive cards, and here we're using like, you know, in the real life, probably those Shadow Rider probably cost like $13 I think it was, or $20, I don't know. And here we are using 5 cents worth of Pokemon cards. Probably you can trade for 4 of Sawsbuck and Ledian for just 1 like uncommon chest in the trades online. Yeah, here we are trying to dominate over Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, and now this Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX build, which is insane. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. And they're gonna pass. I'm just gonna retreat back probably into Snorlax, and I'm just gonna body slam this Sobble. Sobble away, Sobble away, Sobble. And we get a Vitality Band, which increases our attack even more. So yeah, we have 3 attackers here. We can attack with Ledian for 100 damage, which is good chip damage too. And they have no other choice, I guess. I mean, they can heal it, but you know what? That stadium's not gonna do anything. But we still can't knock it out without our own stadium. So we will have to find that. Hopefully, the other Viridian Force is still prized. So we have only 1 Chaotic Swell in our deck. We have 15 cards left to work with here. If we use Professor's Research, we draw into 7 cards, so that's a little less than 50% chance of getting our stadium, so that we can hit this Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX for 160 damage using Sawsbuck. So this fight isn't over yet. They can still definitely dominate us. If they can just knock out our main attackers and then prevent us from knocking out this Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX, or if they set up another Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX, then they can dominate. But no, they're just gonna attack for a prize against our Snorlax. So here we go. I'm just gonna pivot into Cherum. I can use this energy retrieval, and we can attach this on our Deerling, which could be our next attacker. Let's go ahead and energize that. We need one more energy. Put that vitality band. Professor's research. Here we go. Do we have a stadium? There it is. Our stadium Viridian Forest is here. So let's retreat into Sawsbuck. Well played. Winterhorn for the win. This is official, guys. We won against Ice Rider Calyrex VMAX using a Sawsbuck Ledian deck build. Insane! Sawsbuck. No one ever saw this buck coming. And Ledian, just a humble ladybug that is actually a guy bug. Both are weak, but just the sheer joy of winning with this build against bigger opponents makes it worth it. The only challenge I really had with this is when I faced off against metal type Pokemon with grass resistance. And of course, there are way too many VMAXes and tag teams still in the format that are really quick to set up, so you won't win every game. But I tell you, I had so much fun playing this deck and a lot of laughter along the way. You could definitely give this a try if you're up for the challenge. And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please don't forget to smash that like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay safe and have a great day.